White Fox, Simon 2. This match was bad, our tanks dropped off, and when I fell after that, the comp fell through, and didn't feel good that the DPS are comp telling me I'm not doing anything. I was dealing with Daredevil after the first round. Happily got the feedback on what I could have done better. On White Fox, I'm super aggressive, and I can see that sometimes when the healing output isn't there. The synergy fell off once everything stopped, I feel like. Well, the first thing is to just mute the people telling you that you're shit. Just mute those people. That's easy.
So with White Fox, healing is important, but it's also going to be lower than a main support. So if it feels like it's suffering, how it works sometimes.
Definitely.
I mean, there's no real point to firing there. You sort of just want to save your ammo for whenever your team is getting hit right now.
Either save your ammo, or if you look at higher ranked people, they're trying to get the ult charge. So
be a bit closer, bounce shots off that wall.
Bounce
but
off
then
the
I
wall
would
and then try to get ult charge, but do not go further than this line here.
Because then you're Hulk food. But that's a great
Yes.
example.
Because you cross the line is about here for you on support. If you go further, you're in their territory. The Hulk is going to contest you. You have to use your abilities to get out or save yourself, and then they have more advantage.
It's a slippery slope after that. Also, I noticed that we're aiming a bit lower to the ground instead of aiming at like center map. That's a bad habit you sort of want to get off of on White Fox because it cuts your healing output by like 50%.
Definitely. Also, why did Loki die?
Do we have prevented that?
I mean, I didn't hear him.
That's a... Unless your team pinged for it, there's nothing you really could have done there. That was just a good engage from Daredevil.
Yeah, you have to be wary of the nests and the webs.
I'm back, and I'll be more.
I do want to note that you have to be a little bit more careful about where you're standing.
Feels like you're standing out in the open a lot of the time, and it's leaving you open to damage from Phoenix like we saw earlier when your Loki died. Because you got hit with the stun.
Okay, she's standing weird, but if you have a normal team, us doing normal team things, or you have a front-to-back team with poke heroes,
For the first person they're gonna see.
You are visible. The punish is visible. Everyone is visible. That is also why the line is here. Because after this part, you do not have any space at all where you can hide away. You can hide here. I don't think you want to because of Daredevil, but you can also hide here, and then you can heal people. And you can use the cover to peek out and avoid taking damage.
And this point is also a good spot to like to give up space. So if you're desperate to give up space, you can just go around the corner and have. There's a giant corner there.
This is also always a little bit tricky. I prefer to use these parts.
Give up that little bit of starter space and then
It's basically
hold that
take it. If you can't keep it, don't keep it. But see, now you're full line of sight for the Phoenix, and the Phoenix uses it.
do not melee form Hulk, which is a bad habit. Because he's just gonna jump away and then you're out of a 15-second cooldown.
You have to think, do these characters commit when they jump in? Hulk does not commit. Hulk has commitment issues.
I'm back, and I'll be more sly this time.
So just be aware of me. Jake already said that.
Shooting on the ground. Okay,
Nice charm. Good charm.
that's a very good charm, yeah. Your Angela wants to die, I guess. That's fine. But now we have to realize we do not have a tank with us, so we have to be a little bit more careful. Because this man
Yeah,
does
that
not have 500 HP.
People wish he did, but he doesn't. Good charm to get Phoenix off high ground.
Okay, fine. Oh, don't lose track of him. Ooh.
You're playing a risky game of you're split between your team and their team. You're in the middle of it.
Your target priority is whoever keeps you alive, you have to keep alive. So stick with the cloak and dagger. This is fine. We need to be taking more cover. Yeah, that's nice. That's good space. Do not walk past your tanks, by the way. You're very, very close to the front line here.
Which is not as bad on White Fox as it is other heroes, but it's still extremely bad for a support this close to their tanks.
You can be close as White Fox, but it is more that you need to be aware of where you're standing. If you're going to be standing here, how much damage are you going to take? If there's a Squirgle, am I going to die because I just have a Squirgle shooting nuts in my face? Things like that. You can stand here, especially if they only have dive, because then there's no front line for you to take damage from, as an example. But they still have a Pani, they still have a Phoenix, so I would be careful about that. It's good that you do not ignore the Hulk. That's very good. I do not like that charm.
Yeah. I feel like it was to try and charm the Daredevil so he wouldn't be able to die, but it was just a bit too early.
If you want to do that, please do not walk into his face.
Like, you jumped into his face, and that not only messed up your charm, but it also let him get closer.
Daredevil was a close range character, so you still have ranged options, so I would advise that you try to stay away at least a little bit.
Idea behind terrible. Yeah, the idea behind the charm was terrible, but it just didn't work with how you execute.
Right idea, wrong execution. I would be a little bit further back and do it after it's already taken enough damage that you can turn it into one shots. It's good that we get out of melee form though, because we're not going to get any value out of it now, because Daredevil left and Hulk ignores you.
Once again, more bouncing shots. That's...
Keep the cloak never alive, keep the cloak never alive. That's a little bit of pathing.
You went up, and then your cloak and dagger went away from you, and you think you...
So here I would have already started trying to walk towards the cloak and dagger.
Whenever you're against a dive comp, you sort of have to play like a bodyguard. It isn't always the most fun thing, but it's just how you have to play the character.
I think you also would have kept her alive if you didn't aim at the floor, to be honest. Because then, if you could, then you would have had like enough time to reload, do things. But now you basically we started here. We walked all the way here while still healing the cloak and dagger, because we walked like this. The Daredevil could grab us, but we still had to walk forward again. And we were still trying to heal our cloak and dagger, and then we walked onto the jump pad, and we further isolate ourselves, which Hulk and Daredevil love.
They're both like pincer attacking you now because you're in a spot where they can do that now.
Yeah, I like to call it a sandwich, but that's because I like food. So if you had started here, you would have noticed, okay, people are trickling in again. I need to keep my Cloak and Dagger safe.
Also,
Then
a general like,
try to
mental
walk
thing
towards
you
them.
have to White Fox is you have to be aware of poke characters at all Phoenix. Because they can just burst you down really quickly and you without
Definitely.
just sort of gotta be aware of Phoenix more. For this game.
Now the clouds come out.
They have game spawn for a bit more focus.
And the fact that Pony still got kills, very nice though.
Don't hate that melee form because he has to commit more with Colt. Still extremely mobile, but he doesn't have a shield.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's a fine melee form. Kept people alive. You sort of have to be more intentional with how you're firing your.
Also,
Like,
target priority.
That's a great charm.
It's a good
Because right now your
charm, but we
DPS
also have target priority.
because
You
you're
need to have target prior.
because they're about to get burst down by.
Cold.
Tandy, watch out!
I sense them. Close.
This is fine, break nest. That is not a good charm. It's not a
Sword
good charm
didn't do
because the
anything with-
Daredevil is full health. The Daredevil is not being engaged by your team, so he's not taking any damage. He's not in a position where you can either melee your way towards him or you can kill him. So
Right now,
need
you
to
sort of
use
just have to, like, you want to pay attention to Daredevil, but you don't want to like target him out whenever you have other things to do right now.
You just want to keep an eye on him. Just break the nest, keep an eye on him. Your team. Tell them like, hey, Daredevil's on guard, Daredevil's on guard. And then hopefully your Angela has brains. I hope. She doesn't look very conscious currently, but hopefully she has brains and then she's going to think, oh, Daredevil alone, okay, let me grab him. And he's going to take
But
her.
he's also backing up to his team, so hopefully they'll be able to see him and be like, oh, let's target him.
Yeah, so hopefully if you comment to people, they're going to grab the Daredevil, bring him to you. Then you can charm him, and the rest of the people are also going to be shooting at him. And it should be an
Support's
easy
a,
kick.
you have to be a team player on support Ian, but it's extremely difficult at times.
Great that you break the nest. You do not need to charm him. I would be keeping charm for
The nest is gone.
the rest of the people.
Okay.
Also, Cloak
See
and
your
Dagger
team.
ult.
Not a great one, but your team can play with it.
That's a bad TP.
You could just walk there. You still had an ult up. You were not that desperate for a TP at that point.
We do not take damage. We are inside of node. The Cloak and Dagger ult is still going, so we do not need to portal. You are now out of a 12-second cooldown. It happens. But I would also be a little bit more aware of the ability usage. Why do you want to teleport to your Cloak and Dagger currently? She is safe inside of her ult. There's nothing harming her. You yourself are still in the ult, so you are not being harmed. You're safe.
Yeah, what I'm noticing with like everything, even the primaries, so he's just doing things without any real intention behind it. It feels like.
I would not call it that.
Not yet, yeah, but like
Ooh,
sometimes
that
feels like-
that is a nice charm. But just people inside, they can't move. That's a good charm.
Thanks.
Nice, nice.
What's the castle antics?
Team
Team strike. Efficient.
oh, that's all.
So we have a couple of people fights. Who should you keep safe your ult is also something I would be trying to think about. Your three ults you haven't used in a while. They've used the rocket one,
And
they've used
who?
the cloak and dagger one. Hulk has been used. I do not remember Mac existing, so we ignore him.
Right
Well,
now,
Hulk is your biggest counter at the moment. He's used his
Hulk and
ults.
Hulk's exile will wreck White Fox ult.
Yeah. Hulk
But you also
exile,
have to
but
be
Hulk
aware of Rocket
himself
ult
is
because
also...
that damage buff allows you to get burst down.
Yeah.
See?
But they still haven't Phoenix ulted or Daredevil ulted, so maybe I have to keep for that. It's also a little bit of reading the room. That's a good defeat. Unfortunately, he dies. Well, it's technically a double ult.
I think what you were trying to do here is you're trying to reverse the tempo because they were starting to get momentum.
I think that's fair.
They killed your Punisher, but then you double support ult with Camp. Feels like.
But we also don't know if he commented or not, so if it happens, just tell Cap like, I'm going to ult for this part, or you ult for the first. Do the same with your cloak and dagger and prevents a lot of double ults.
Oh, nice. That was a nice dash.
That is impressive. Issue is now you don't have it for Daredevil. Your ult. That's why comms are important. It's fine, it happens. The team still manages to kill him. What's the Mac doing?
Punisher. Turn around, man.
Ooh, that's a bad habit.
Do not hold melee format. What you want to do, GM, then with this situation, you really don't want to do it. You want to just do melee form, dash, out of melee form. That's the basic thing there. But with this situation, your spawn is too close to the fighting, so you cannot afford to do that or you get punished.
As in right now. Yeah. No, I agree
Well,
with that.
There are situations where you can, don't get me wrong. This is not one of them.
Oh no, the Punisher falls victim to him. Oh, that's sad. This is fine, you're trying to lure him out. Ooh, you almost have it. Oh no. Oh, the wall has been so good. Now you need to get out.
Respect the attempt there. It was a nice charm, by the way. It went through literally everyone on their team.
We teleport, but we are full health. The Cap is like, he was at maybe like 600 HP. The teleport is not needed in this case.
It feels like you're a bit liberal with the TP and you've gotten punished for it like once or twice. Well, actually, yeah, because Daredevil's been punished for it.
So, if you're using it for the shield, I would not do that because of the fact that it's only like 300 HP. That's
200.
200.
It's like 200.
250.
It's not very much.
But it is not a lot of shield, so I would not use it for shielding, unless there's like a strange ult and then you TP to someone and you save that person. I've also had it happen one time that people TP'd and then they only got ulted because of the strange, because the shield acted as a barrier. But
also, there's a small like tech you can do with TP, but that's more. It gives you like a split second of iframes whenever you do it, so you can use it to avoid ult. But that's also sort of a difficult thing to do reliably.
Definitely.
Just.
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like the charms have been mostly good. It's just there's every so often there's a bad one where it just wasn't.
I like it. Oh, that's great. Oh, you got out immediately. That's great. That is really good.
And you got the kill, which is always nice.
Tiny charm. Okay, that's good. That's good. just try to be a little bit more mindful to Hulk. Ooh, he doesn't like you. No.
He's going for-
I would get out.
This
I do
is-
not trust myself. I do not trust him to not either exile you or just throw down the cliff.
Yeah, the cliff is what scares me here. Like, if you get exiled, he hits you once and back to melee forming him.
Yeah.
Melee form against Hulkle is fine unless there's a ledge. Because once there's a ledge, it adds too much variable for death.
I'm going to try and see if I can do something.
Pulling out the MS Paint.
Okay, it isn't working. Never mind. I'll do that another time. Okay.
I'm liking that you try and burn the rocket ult too.
We're back at the cap. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Terrible timing. It could have been like another second later, but that's nitpicky.
As far as good on your
Oh,
account,
sure.
they have to get out. This is fine.
Probably could have been closer to your other sport, but I understand why you weren't there. We're trying to point.
You have to get out. Ooh. Oh.
Let the devil out!
Yeah, you're gonna down have on your ass. That's difficult.
Honestly,
Not much to be done.
yeah. The only thing I think you have done is like maybe flicked over to his team by the side and protected them from the Maggle if that's reason.
We have to be portaling now, though. This is good, but we need to portal.
Yeah.
So they're into overtime, but they're also very close to capping. I do not believe that you have another fight without staggering yourself, so you will not be able to cap this point unless you portal.
You might be able to touch Buddy, and then your team is staggering right now.
Yeah, he staggered. So, a little tip. We die here, we see, okay, they only have a little bit before they get to point. And we're in overtime. I do not believe my team has any way of recontesting. We need to portal. We need to get that second fight in. We need to get that last fight in. So now I would be thinking to portal, so I would swap to Strange. Then your cap gets nuked. That's unfortunate. If we had done that, by the way, we did not meet these people on here, so probably it would have been around here that the card is. You can place your portal like this, as example. Everyone is in full.
Please, for the love of God, do not do sky portals.
I would place your portal like this. Then later, people can walk out. They can use the portal as a cover, as a wall, so they don't take damage. We can also cut people off from each other. So if you want to say goodbye tanks, you just put them here, and then Rocket's going to not be able to heal his tanks, as example. But if you do it like this, you basically make sure that they only have one part of the card to look at. And then hopefully you will be able to recontest. Because now you're staggering, unfortunately, when it happens.
Yeah. But now we have to see how do you react to stay back and regroup, or do you...
this one is great. It's good.
In front of your tanks right now.
Yeah, you do not want to ignore the whole king back line. You saw him and you heard him, so I would try to 180 and just teleport back. This man sees nothing. Ooh. That is not a great loading there, though, but sure.
Mm. Also,
Wait, look. So, we got here. He's half health. The charm hits. He's got a quarter left. He's just going. See how that's different between having a full health devil being charmed or a half health devil being charmed. Punisher is like a hamster. It is fine.
Hulk is one of the best targets for you to be shooting at because you get healing. But since you're bouncing them, like this is just iterating a bit. But so can't do damage and heal at this.
I do not think you need it. He did TP already.
Early on the TP there.
I do not think you need the TP. The TP is going to do the same amount of everything that the thing does. And then you use your ult, but there's nobody to heal. And they burn us.
Also use the left. Yeah, use the right click.
Yeah, you have to bless people. So this is fine, this position, but we walk too far forwards, and our Neymar apparently does not have any will of wanting to survive. I would have just stayed here. Your support, she support, you both need to be like standing a little bit here, make sure to not be in direct line of sight of everyone. Did he hit the cloak and dagger? No. Damn, okay. But hopefully you would have been able to teleport to her, and then she would have hopefully lived. It's a maybe. It could happen, it could also not happen. But
It feels very good at times.
Using the shields and the TP to heal, which wasn't going to work anyway because the name was in the worst place imaginable. And you don't have to TP to either shoot your cloak and dagger or for to get out yourself. So you're forced to ult. Staying here would have allowed you to stay safe, keep your cloak and dagger up, and just not be in line of sight.
So I think if you bless Bucky there, you don't have to run to him and you can keep your Cyclops up.
Oh, wait, sorry. How's it good,
Being aggressive here, good.
Fuck your ult is.
Let the devil
Nice. That was about TP.
There was no need for that TP. The fight's done with.
Okay, we're still on the right person.
The battle starts in 5,
tanks.
There are no
Oh,
tanks.
you have no tanks. Ooh.
Plum. It looks like you're hitting the other tanks to heal your front line.
I do not understand why we meleeed here, but you also recognize that it wasn't doing anything, so you got out. So. I'm going to assume that for next time you know what to do.
I'm going to assume that was a misclick.
I hope so. But it happens, and
Yeah.
through self-reflection we learn. I don't think I'll be talking much about your positioning here, purely because you have 4 DPS, so everyone is frontline and everyone is backline. And if I give you advice for this comp, then it's not going to be as much applicable to a regular composition.
Also, I know I've said this a few times, but it's just incredibly massive to know. You should always be aiming for people rather than the floor.
I'm just going to make a little note first.
The web of life and destiny.
You have to save yourself. That is a bad melee. You do not need it to kill the Hulk. You do not need it to survive the Hulk, so I would not be meleeing there.
Got my eye on someone welcome guest.
That's a good shot.
Nice charm.
Good.
And nice kill on my rocket. And Hulk dies again.
Nice.
I think you melee for him because you didn't realize how low Daredevil was.
Yeah. Otherwise, if he's low and you've got your whole team on him, you do not really need it.
Help. Damage sustained. Need assistance.
Not a Hulk. If you want to charm him, if you want to charm him, because the charm is delayed, because she has a wind-up time, you want to follow him along the arc of him jumping.
Honestly, charm is a mix of tracking and prediction on where they're going.
It's I don't know if you've played Phoenix, but Phoenix Stun is it's kind of the same. You guys might don't have anything for him. Okay.
Nice bounces around the wall there. That's when you want to be hitting the floors to bounce around like corner.
Yeah, but I would also advise that you keep an eye on your hidden Punisher. I do understand that your Cloak and Dagger was busy with him, and that she should have kept him up. But also, if you have an ulting Punisher and ulting Star-Lords, even Emma or Daredevil, you want to keep them up.
Mm-hmm.
If they die, then you lose an ult, and maybe they could have had like 300 kills. Hello.
Just popping in to say hi and see how you guys are doing.
We're doing the foot review currently.
Yeah.
I figured as much. How is it?
I like the charms. I think
Yeah.
it's also great that the character, that the player does not stay in melee form if not needed.
Yeah.
And we're now halfway into the foot. So let's see. We also do not have any tanks, so that's not great.
So I assume the floor has been spared from charming.
From charming, yes, from shooting now.
Back in the hunt.
The web of life and destiny is
Us against the world.
Okay. This is sort of go time. You have to find where your C&D is and teleport to them at the right moment.
Yes. Okay, no, fair enough.
At this point, it's just
I
sort
don't
of.
think you needed
This would be a dire get out moment, not. The fight's over.
You've
Second, 2 of your DPS go down, it's fight's pretty much over. Well, that's all
especially in
you
this
can.
case because you have no tank, so you cannot kite, you cannot mitigate. I would not have ulted here, I would have just died.
Because now you're just wasting the ult, sort of. There's nothing really you can do.
Two people die, you have to think, oh no, 2 of my tanks died. And if you don't have tanks in the right comp, then you're not going to be ulting anyway.
Okay, now the clock.
Now we're on rocket. Okay. This skin is so fun. I like this skin.
This is a nice spot. I'll patch you up.
This is rocket. That's fine, it's fine.
Does the attack plan exist?
Behold the god of thunder!
The people have never. Oh. This is really risky. And I'll say it again. The person that keeps you alive is the one that you should keep alive. It's mutual. You have to make sure that you keep the Cloak and Dagger alive. If the Thor had any brain cells, you would have killed the Cloak and Dagger.
It's also like, in this case, you can. They're just sitting still. They're not doing anything. So, like, they can look up and see like where the Thor is in relation to the 2 people that are under him, and see like who's in danger of dying when he slams down. Because he goes straight down. So, like, that Cloak and Dagger was definitely savable there.
She lives, but it's also just a good habit to definitely go for the Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, she lives like no thanks to you, basically.
This is real firepower!
You're very stationary on Rocket. Like,
I don't
it's
really
very-
mind because he's hitting his shots and nobody's contesting him.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, eventually people are gonna start contesting, be in the habit of moving around more with Rocket.
So I've seen some
Yeah.
reasons that you do this. Now you have to rotate. You're not in a great place. So let's go back a little bit. You are here. You walk backwards. You place your beacon there. But look where your team goes. Look where your team walks. You cannot see them. Or you can, but it's going to be very difficult. They're both in a different direction for you. I would have been
Behind
here
that
if you
rock right there.
could. Here if you could. Or would be nice to be up
There.
here because of the high ground. But by standing here, you cannot really see anyone, or you can with difficulty, but you also need to be moving towards them to get them help. Now you start bouncing heals off the wall here because you cannot hit them.
That's what I need.
How are we trying to help the spirit here?
Are we healing the enemy team?
You're giving them some love, it's okay. Same issue, by the way. The Bucky did the exact same issue as you did. A mistake. He walked backwards and then he had to go all the way around to get any heals.
Against the world!
Could have just stayed on that balloon. Gives you a nice vantage.
Ooh.
Do not do this.
Do not do that. Okay. So let's see if we can make some effective. as you're feeling the ult. Unfortunately. If Mag ults, do not shoot him. Do not shoot. I think he even eats the
Well, you
balls,
can-
I'm not sure.
I don't think he shoots the. I don't think he absorbs the balls since they have weird physics.
But do not try to attack when he ults. It's just going to feed his ball and then he's going to meatball someone to death. If you
Small
want-
thing for. Since I know you play a lot of White Fox, small thing for White Fox, her charm will mag in his ult, but it will not stun him out. So if he's low, you can charm him, but that's just normally not what you want to do.
A little tip here for rockets. Try to dash upwards and just place it around here.
Higher is better.
Higher is better. Because then they have to decide whether to look at you and shoot the beacon. If you place it like this, they can just shoot the beacon, shoot you, shoot the beacon, shoot you. I'm sorry. If you place it here, people have to look upwards. And then if they look upwards and shoot here, everyone on your team can shoot them. And then they die.
This is
Look.
real firepower.
Cyclops doesn't need to do anything. Cyclops is fine. He is safe. Because he can stay up and shoot. But none of y'all can do that. Oh, do not place your
Yeah, so
beacon there.
typically, what I try to tell people when I'm teaching them is that generally in most cases, and it's not always the case, but the team that loses is the team that has to make more decisions because it increases the chance that they're going to choose wrong. So if you stand behind that beacon, you're just giving them one option, just shoot forward. But if you're standing up there, now they have to choose up or down.
Behold the god of
I think that's a good way of that saying it.
Mhm.
The more you make them choose, the more you have the chance to force a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep flipping a coin, eventually they're gonna get tapped.
Okay, so you know that there's a Tor in the back line. Keep track of your cloak and dagger.
Once again, keep up the person that's keeping you up.
And I do not mean that you should patty cake every time they're like they've lost 1 HP, but try to make sure they keep an eye on them. So when they start losing a lot of health, you can start healing them. So you prevent them from dying. So please do not be like one of those people that you see clips of that they just patty cake each other and then everyone around them dies and then they still die because everyone's looking at them.
Yep.
That works, but also your Wolverine should have saved your cloak and dagger, so that's impressive that it worked out.
I'm also so happy we finally have a tank.
the emanations of power.
Yeah.
Help.
Oh my lord, it's a strange, thank the Lord.
You're welcome. I am strengthened for battle. That should make a difference.
High ground. Try to stand here. Just purely, you can wall climb. You can even use that thing. Just get higher. If the squirrels can and will find you.
Hmm.
And this is a very tight corridor, so it would have been an instant death if it hit any type of angle. Good attempts.
That was because
Just try and stay safe. Yeah, that's fine. Good, you're looking at a cloak and dagger. That's fine, it's fine.
Never thought I'd care so much about spiders. Right out. Right on target. Our enemies are
That's fine. Oh,
I'm doing this my way. I am strengthened.
okay, the Punish is ulting. Keep an eye on him.
Blaze of glory. That should make a difference.
Us against the world.
better get out. You've lost your only other healer. And look, your punish is still dead. A lot of people are critical.
Mm.
You have to get out. Yeah.
That was taste.
So I'd like to note something. Your whole team is back. Your whole team is coming back. They're done. They're coming back. And because you tried to stay alive and the enemy team was apparently not very good at killing you, you just died. So they're going to be stuck for another 10 seconds before they can engage. You have 30 seconds left.
Also, you have a support ult.
Real firepower.
Yes.
And to really bring that point home too, like you got lucky here because your spawn is relatively close, but in most cases, just remember it's 10 seconds plus the time it takes you to walk all the way back to point, especially if you die early. So it can be like 20, 25 seconds of wasted time before you're able to like do anything again.
And
So
you're
that's
out of
really
time.
important.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Mhm.
That's a double. Do not shoot them at ults. Not as bad as joke in this case, but you're charging that ball, Daph. Be very, very careful about that.
The god of thunder.
You can't really go anywhere. You kind of shot yourself in the foot with this. So, you double dash, that's not great. You were in an advantage when you were here, and you had to beacon the amplifier, because Thor cannot kill through the amplifier, and you have enough damage to just meld his ass to spawn. So try to stay a little bit high, even if he pushes you down, just poke upwards and shoot him. Try high grounds, and then after you have to dash. Use this. Just wall climb, and then you can float downwards again. But you can still heal people. Now you have to double dash, and you dash towards the danger. And you got stuck because that's not a great position to be in.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Yeah. GG's. So what lost your last fight is the fact that you double ulted, and then nobody did anything with the ult, so the rocket ult went to waste. And you need to be careful where you go when you get attacked. We're just asking the whole time. And then at some point you think, okay, I have to get back to the Cloak and Dagger ult. So you use dash. And then you hear Thor ult and you think, okay, I have to dash again to get out. And you dash towards the enemy team. Which is not safe, unfortunately. Okay, I can move. Going upwards would have been fine. Your Cloak and Dagger is also kind of in a difficult position, but upwards would have been better in this case, because then you would have been stuck in the room and then killed. It's a little bit of recognizing where is the enemy team. It's here. And they're here. And there was a door here. And where should I go to be safe? Which is not in the enemy team. It's either back or up. Unfortunate. Overall, I think you need to be trying to hit direct shots on your enemies and your teammates. Be a little bit more mindful of who you have to use your melee form on. So is it a Hulk that jumps away really quickly, so if I hit him once he's gone and then I can't use the rest of my melee form, or is it Daredevil that's going to try and stay and commit to this engagement so I can keep slapping him with my tails? Your teleports. Try to think, can I heal him the same amount as that I do with a primary, or is he too far away, or do I need to get to safety and he is at safety? What else?
From the little I saw, when I read the initial post, they were saying that on White Fox they're super aggressive and can see sometimes when the healing output isn't there. I was talking to Firelord about this a while ago. I wouldn't worry too much about White Fox's numbers. I find my healing, at least the way I play her, and I'm not like a super expert, but I find my healing is often a good bit lower than my other strategist. And I think that's partially just the way White Fox plays. That your goal, her primary fire has weaker healing output than a lot of the other strategists, and your goal isn't to sustain a fight the same way. Your goal is to help be active and win the fight as quickly as possible. So you're not going to be healing as much because you're helping to get things killed a lot more than other strategists, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you can see it in the finals as well. You got 10 finals, you got 15k damage.
Yeah, and just as long as you're not like actively prioritizing DPSing, as long as you still are trying to keep your team up and being aware of when you're being too aggressive, I wouldn't worry about the stats at all with her.
Agreed.
I think she just plays really differently from any other strategist in the game.
Like overall, I don't think you were too aggressive. I did not see that back. If I expected you to be aggressive, I would have expected you to be in front of the tanks constantly and then try to do damage, and then die because of your bad positioning. But I did not see that, so I would not say that's the issue. I think overall it's fine. Just recognizing where to stand, what to use the abilities exactly for, and knowing when to get out. So how many people have died? Can I still win this fight, yes or no? Probably not, so let's go out. Let's leave. Or try to die so I don't stagger myself. And if you have any more questions, maybe Firelord has any tips? Firelord. He has died. Anyways, if you have more questions, you can just send me a message on Discord. That's it.
All right.